Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is the Prophets of Awakening. This is our reading through the tonight, reading through the Tanak night, the 30th of October, 2024. We'll be reading out of the book of Jubilees, picking up where we left off last week, chapter 10, Noah and the demons. Okay, we'll read that and break it down. You go to our YouTube channel, the Prophets of Awakening. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so videos that you can look at, examine, and get the meat out of it. Okay, these videos will make dice for you and lead you into the truth of the Holy Scriptures. And if you like what you're hearing and receiving, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And for those that want to support the channel, you can go to our Cash App at the bottom of the screen. And that too would be greatly appreciated. And the hours that we are live on Prophets of Awakening is Tuesday and Wednesday nights, 7 to 9 Central Time p.m. And then we have our 2 Shabbat classes on Saturdays. The morning class is 10 to 12 a.m. Central Time, and then we close out the Shabbat in the evening from 6 to 7. This is every week for Prophets of Awakening. Okay. You can go to our, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanak and the Torah. Tanak being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by our Redeemer, our Deliverer, and Lord of Hosts. Okay. Shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our reading through the Tanakh. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, Psalms. Then we have some current events. Okay, and then we have some need to know information. And then we open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions or comments or any dialogue? And then we'll go into our topic inside the class, which is chapter 10 of the book of Jubilees, dealing with Noah and the demons. And we want to break down what those demons are, okay, and make it in plain terms. Okay, so with that being said, moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts. And all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. O Lord, righteousness and uprightness belongeth unto thee. Therefore we come before thee at this hour, seeking our face and looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before thee as thy servants David and Solomon and Samuel and Hezekiah did, that we may walk before thee in truth and in rightness and in rightness of heart. Give unto us, O Lord, an understanding heart, that we may discern between good and bad. For we desire to walk after thee, O Lord, and keep your commandments, your testimony, and your statutes with all our heart and soul, and to perform the words of this covenant that were written down by your prophets. O Lord, allow your face to shine upon thy people. Hear our plea, hear and do. O Lord, hide not thy face from us any longer, for we need you so very much at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay. So with that being said, we'll read a psalm right quick. Okay. These I read Psalms 109. It's a psalm for the punishment of the wicked. Right? It's a psalm of David. Hold not thy peace, O God, of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They have compassed me about, also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. My love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good, and hatred for my love. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. And when he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office, and let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow, and let his children be continuously vagabonds and beg, and let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places, and let the extortioner catch all that he had, and let the stranger spoil his labor, and let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children, and let his prosperity be cut off, and in the generations following, let their name be blotted out, and let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out, and let them be before the Lord continuously, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth, because that he remembers not to show mercy or persecute the poor and needy man, and that he might even slay the brokenhearted. As he loved piercing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessings, so let it be far from him. And he clothed himself with cursing, uh, like as with his garment, so let it come into his bowels like water, and let all into his bones. And let it be unto him as a garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girded continuously. Let this be the reward of my adversaries from the Lord, and of them that speak evil against my soul. But do thou for me, O God, the Lord, for thy name's sake, because thy mercy is good. Deliver thou me, for I am poor and needy, and my heart is wonderful within me, wounded within me. I am gone like the shadow when it declineth. I am tossed up and down as the locust. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh faileth of fatness. I became also a reproach unto them. When they look upon me, they shake their heads. Help me, O Lord my God. O save me according to thy mercies, that they may know that this is thy hand, that thou, Lord, hast done it. And let them curse the blessed thou when they arise. Let them be ashamed, but let thy servant rejoice. And let mine adversaries be clothed with shame. And let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with a mantle. I will greatly praise thee, Lord, with my mouth. Yea, I will praise him among the multitude, for he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save him from those that condemn his soul. Okay. Any comments on that? Okay, that was Psalms 109, and it was the song of David. It's the prayer for the punishment of the wicked. I just want to shine light on one verse. It says, verse 26, it says, help me, O Lord, my God, O save me according to thy tender mercies. And I had shined light on this before, but this is a good place right here to show you what when it says tender mercies. And it's anywhere in the Tanak, when they start talking about the tender mercies of the Lord, it's according to David. The tender mercies that he had toward David. I'll give you an example. So David said, 26, help me, O Lord, my God. Save me according to thy tender mercy, right? So we go over here to, I think it's Psalm 132, if I'm not mistaken. So when you see those Israelites praying about tender mercy, it's David's included. So it says, I started reading verse 132. Lord, remember David in all his affliction, how he swore unto the Lord and vowed unto the mighty God of Jacob, surely I will not come into thy tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord, a habitation for the mighty God of Jacob. Lo, I heard it in Ephesus, and we found it in the field of wood. We would go into the tabernacle and we would worship as if like footstool. Arise, O Lord, into thy rest, thou art the ark of thy strength. And let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and thy saints shout aloud for joy. For here you go right here, verse 10. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thy anointing. So we see right here, these tender mercies is included in this verse right here. It's just not, it's not saying it, but it's the same thing that I just read over there in Psalms that I just read. It says, it's 132, verse 10, Psalms 132, verse 10. So for thy servant David's sake, turn not away thy face, thy anointing. And then 11, the Lord hath sworn, yet the Lord hath sworn unto David, he will not turn from it, of the fruit of his body will he set upon his throne. So he got this covenant with David, which is those tender mercies is included in it. So when you hear the tender mercies of David, that's what he's talking about. It's like we found out in Jubilees chapter 6 that everything that's dealing with the feast, the tabernacle, feast of weeks, is all in remembrance to Noah. But they throw us off and got us thinking something else because they want to bring JC in, but everything that's happening when we celebrating the feast of weeks and all that is tied to Noah, because he was the one that was in place when the flood came in and after the flood. So all those feast of weeks and all that stuff is tied to rainbow and all that tied to Noah. And right here we know that when we start talking about tender mercies and Lord of hosts having mercy on Israel, according to David. Okay. Any comments, questions on that? Okay. Everybody good?
Shalom, yes, good.
Okay. So here we go. Current events.
At least the election will be 1 week away. And there's no doubt in my mind that this time next week, millions of Americans are going to be suffering through a national mental health crisis. Stress cortisol levels and blood pressure will be skyrocketing. There will be tears of sorrow and tears of joy. People will be screaming at their televisions in disbelief, and people breathing a sigh of relief. And that high anxiety experience is not going to go away by Wednesday morning. And I hate to break it to you, but that's when things will likely get worse. Let's talk about what you should know before these 62 days that will define America's future. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness, aka prepping. One of the things I try to do on this channel is to keep you informed about potential disasters on the horizon and keep you really prepared for those events. And this upcoming election is one of those potential risks. Now, I purposefully keep politics out of this channel, but this election in the days leading up to the certification on January 6th, they really present some very real challenges that could impact our lives. Now, on one side, I'm anxious for the election day to pass so we can move on beyond it and hopefully start bridging some of the divides that we face. But at the same time, I'm a pragmatist. I have serious concerns about what the election might bring. And if you're anything like me, those concerns are weighing on you as well as the day draws near. There are a lot of potential flare-ups that we could see, and these could happen for 2 months after the election day. So don't breathe a sigh of relief just yet. Now, unlike the last election cycle, this cycle already has over 120 court cases that are currently being litigated, ranging from voter eligibility to mail-in ballots to signatures on ballots to the judicial right to overturn an elected official's certification of results. And any one of those challenges lays the groundwork for post-election day conflicts. Now, additionally, we can expect 3 to 4 times that many cases filed on election day in the rest of that week. And the foundation for questioning the validity of the election is being established now. The seeds of doubt in the fairness of the election are being planted now. And at least some of those seeds will sprout. Whether or not they bloom into anything or they're clipped at the root will remain to be seen. It only takes one case to rise to the Supreme Court. And if that happens, this entire election will be decided by 9 Supreme Court justices. Such a thing would instantly infuriate at least 79 million people voting nationwide. That's about half the estimated 158 million people who voted in the 2020 election. Now, in the final weeks of the presidential campaign, legal teams are intensifying their efforts. This is happening right now. Numerous lawsuits have been filed in swing states, mainly targeting election rules and mail-in voting. And these legal battles are already ramping up ahead of this election, making one thing clear to me: neither side is likely to concede defeat to the other. Now, unlike Gore, who conceded after the Brooks Brother riot and the subsequent Supreme Court ruling in 2000, America is in a much, much different place right now. And we're more charged collectively than we've ever really been. In that case, the Bush v. Gore was a pivotal Supreme Court decision in the 2000 U.S. presidential election. It arose when the Florida Supreme Court ordered a statewide recount of undervotes, leading to the Bush campaign requesting the United States Supreme Court to halt it. Now, the court ruled 5-4 that the recount violated the Equal Protection Clause due to differing standards in counting across counties. And it determined no alternative method could meet the December 12th safe harbor deadline. And as a result, the recount was stopped, allowing Florida's certified results to stand, securing George W. Bush's victory over Al Gore. Now, at that time, I was 25 years old when that happened. And I'll be honest, at the time, it kind of seemed odd to me, but I honestly didn't care that much. I was kind of young, and I just didn't really see how this impacted me, and just life went on. But in retrospect, how it played out was bizarre when you really look at it. And as I mentioned earlier, we're in a much different place as a country. We're far more divided. And if something were to happen again, where legal wrangling pushes the issue into the hands of 9 people, I can't imagine a scenario where it wouldn't push the country over the edge. But here's the kicker: the government is preparing right now for civil unrest, so you should be as well. Now, one incident in one state could potentially nullify an entire state's validation of their results. When you have both disillusioned and disenfranchised angry voters across the country, there's little doubt that the kindling for larger fires exists, and the sparks to ignite those fires exists. And I'd like to say that early voting will all take place as normal, that people will vote in person on election day, and that none of the nearly 100,000 polling locations will report a problem. And I would like to say that neither candidate will declare victory, and the mainstream media won't declare a winner until all ballots, including the mail-in ballots, are counted after the in-person ballots are all counted. And I'd like to say that the popular vote will coincide with the Electoral College's vote, and that each state will easily certify its results. And I'd like to say that Congress will ratify the results on January 6th, and the candidate declared to have lost will fade into history. But I don't think I can say those things. Every step and every day along the way is a potential flashpoint, as we saw last election cycle. And now there is more kindling and more sparks. So what days should you be concerned about? Now, obviously, there's an election day next week, November 5th. And even with the charged atmosphere that we have right now, this day will likely be relatively peaceful, as each side wants their vote counted. But starting the next day is really where it gets a little more worrisome. The bulk of the in-person votes and polling results will be in. And unless it's a landslide, and probably even then, there will be considerable maneuvering to try and present themselves as the winner. And neither side this time will concede defeat. But each of the 32 days between Election Day and December 11th, when the executive of each state issues a certificate of ascertainment, which names and appoints the individuals who will cast the state's electoral votes for president and vice president, could be a nonstop stream of election denying, accusations of fraud, demands for voter recounts, and so much more. Things move faster nowadays when it comes to certifying the results at the state level, but blame the cyber attack.
Invest in Lift Aircraft, the company with $8 million.
Extremes of either party. Our government is frantically hardening all systems from these attacks. So you should take note and assume the threat is very real. Now, look, I don't want you to panic. And again, please don't walk away from this video with that sense that, this is something's going to happen. And I'm not here to stoke fear. there's a good chance that most of the country will experience nothing unusual. Most of the country will be fine, maybe argue a little bit back and forth, shake their heads or their fingers at each other or other states, but not much else will really happen. And I think that will be more true than not. And I don't think we're barreling towards some unstoppable war that's going to tear us at the seams, as I've heard it said elsewhere. And I don't think that there's a need to panic. Again, let me just repeat that. I don't think you need to shutter yourselves in for 60 or more days straight. I'm not preparing for that, but I am taking steps to prepare if there are events, as I stated earlier, where maybe the infrastructure is compromised, maybe food is not flowing in as well. I just want to make sure that we can take care of ourselves for several weeks if it comes down to that.
Okay. Any comments on that? Dang. Anybody got any comments on that?
Shalom. Yes. When he mentioned the Supreme Court coming down to that part, isn't there more Republicans on the Supreme Court than there are Democrats?
Exactly.
And how would that be biased? You know,
Trump put
right?
them on there.
And so right there clearly would state that they would go Republican if they had to do the, you know, be the one who breaks the tie or whatever, going to happen for them. And then, like he mentioned about having pre-preparing to have not going to stores and getting your food or not being able to do something. So make sure you have things stored up. So, and like he mentioned, he says he don't want to get anybody in a frantic per se, but he is doing that by mentioning whoever listens to him would think that, okay, it's down to the wire. If she's not elected as president, then we're going to have a war. Or if he's not elected as president, we're going to have a war amongst ourselves first. And then what happens after that, as far as like what I said, ourselves, meaning, the people, you go to the grocery store, someone's, saying whatever, trying to say that they're going to start fighting amongst themselves in little mini wars or mini battles, and then something's going to happen bigger after the 6th. That's what I got out of it. Um, should I say
Right.
that, or seems like that's what he was, summing it up to, that it's going to be so close that it's going to be the justice system. They're going to do it. They're going to elect the president, and then we're going to be without means of our food and stuff, maybe lights or whatever. We're going to, because that if we listen to Project 25, that if that comes in play, which I'm hoping it does not, we have the candidate that we need to run this United States. But if one reads that book and listen to and cipher it, it's nothing pretty.
Right.
So,
Project 2025 is already in effect because when he elected all those justices, he was already positioning himself right there. And so much stuff, even like when with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, all that's part of 2025. He set all that in place when he was in there those 4 years, and they've been passing stuff ever since for this election. There's no way they're going to concede, just let it go. They already setting up for a war. They're going for broke. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we got a deal on that.
U.S. is now bracing for war. What we are hearing from many U.S. officials is that the United States has never been at a higher risk than we are at right now. Not only do we have wars or little regional conflicts going on, obviously between Russia and Ukraine, which the United States is involved in, and then we got this conflict between Israel and Hamas, Israel and Lebanon, Israel and Iran. And then the United States is now being looked at from Iran as the target. I want to break down what's going on and why some experts say that World War III is just right around the corner. I'll break all this in just a moment, but all I ask is one, two, if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So is World War III right around the corner? Well, that's the big question. But are any of the countries that are involved in these regional conflicts and these regional wars, are any of those countries trying to de-escalate the situation? Well, according to reports, yes. The United States is calling for a de-escalation. Just look at this. It says U.S. calls for de-escalation as Iran claims right to self-defense after Israeli strikes. Now, here's what you need to keep in mind. The first thing that happened was Iran targeted Israel. Okay, they sent 180 ballistic missiles into Israel, took the life of one person, but it didn't cause an excessive amount of damage. Then a week or two later, Israel decided to retaliate against Iran. This just happened this past week. And what we learned was it didn't do much. It was very minimal. And one of the reasons why it could have been very minimal is because Israel wanted to somewhat de-escalate the situation, but at the same time respond to that initial attack. Well, look at this. It says satellite photos show Israeli strike likely hit important Iran Revolutionary Guard missile base. Now, I want to read a little bit of this article to you. It says the damage at the base in Sharud raises new questions about Israel's attack early Saturday, particularly as it took place in an area previously unacknowledged by Tehran and involved the Guard, a powerful force within Iran's theocracy that so far has remained silent about any possible damage it suffered from the assault. Iran only has identified Israeli attacks as taking place in Lam, Khuzestan, and Tehran provinces, not in the rural Semnan province where the base is located. It also potentially further restrains the Guard's ability to manufacture the solid fuel ballistic missiles it needs to stockpile as a deterrent against Israel. Okay, so if this is true, okay, according to multiple reports, it is true. This is a very important site that was just hit. If this is true, Iran is likely going to respond. But when they do respond, what is that response going to look like if this was the target? That's something we don't know. Now, here's the issue. Tehran now faces a tough choice about what to do next, simply because they are in the middle of this, okay? Keep in mind, Israel was not going after Iran. Israel was going after Hamas, okay, which is Iranian proxy, was going after Hezbollah, again, another Iranian proxy. It wasn't going after Iran directly. Iran only got in the middle of it, okay, after Israel was winning this regional war. Now, I want to show you this, though, because this is part of the problem. And I've warned about this before. Hezbollah sleeper cells are ready to strike UK and US escalation. Today, the United States message for Israel remains clear. We will always help secure its people and territory from Iran and its terrorist proxies and partners. Our message for Iran remains clear as well. Should it choose to undertake further aggressive acts against Israel or U.S. personnel in the region, there will be severe consequences. We will not hesitate to act in self-defense. Keyword there, act in self-defense. So only if Iran retaliates, then the United States would respond. Okay? Here's where things get very interesting. This war does not look like it's going to end anytime soon. The United States and President Biden, U.S. officials have been warning and telling Benjamin Netanyahu to de-escalate the situation. Continue to provide aid to the people of Gaza. Don't continue to attack other countries, other regions. Okay? Just push that off. Let it go. Because only if this continues and we see attack after attack, it's only going to cost other countries more lives, or potentially people in Israel, their life. What the United States doesn't want is this war to come back on us. However, it's looking more and more likely, which is one of the reasons why many U.S. officials say World War III is just right around the corner. All it takes is one miscommunication, one miscalculation, okay, one misinterpretation. That's all it takes. And then we have a world war on our hands. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. The one thing I can tell you, though, is exactly what the FBI and other U.S. officials have been saying for several months, is that even until 1 month after the election, and then according to reports yesterday, up until Inauguration Day, which is January 20th, 2025, we are going to be in this heightened risk environment. So just be prepared. And again, like police say, like the FBI has been saying, if you see something, say something. Because again, the risks against the United States, the threats against us, are extremely high at the moment.
So like I said before, we might as well expect the worst, because these people, the dollar is going down, and the only thing that's going to be able to, they think, going to save it is to have war. So war coming. When is more likely sooner than later, because when you look at what's going on with the dollar and this economy, so war is coming. Believe that. Anybody got any questions, comments on that? Okay, we go to our need to know information. See what we got. Okay. This right here is over in West Africa. They finally turning Ghana against Burkina Faso. We know who that is, the West. Let's see if it can come up. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me keep going, man. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to my computer acting up. I'm gonna go to my topic inside the class, which is Jubilees chapter 10, right? And within that chapter is dealing with Noah and his demons, right? So let's go check it out. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit before, maybe over in chapter 8. But let me get it. Okay. Okay, Jubilees chapter 10. Okay, Jubilees chapter 10, starting at verse, let's see if I click. It may be coming up. Okay, Jubilees chapter 10 says, and in the third week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons begin to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah to make an error and destroy them. When the sons of Noah came to Noah and their fathers, and they told them concerning the demons which were leading astray, the blinding, the blending and the slaying, blinding and slaying his sons. And he prayed before the Lord his God and said, God of the spirits of all flesh, who has shown mercy unto me and has saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has caused me to perish as thou didst the sons of perdition. For thy grace have been great toward me, and great have been thy mercy to me, to my soul. And let thy grace be lifted up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, and lest they should destroy them from the earth. But do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And thou knowest how thy watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in a place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my God, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy, and let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for thou alone can exercise dominion over them, and let them not have power over the sons of righteousness from henceforth and forevermore. And the Lord our God bade us to bind all. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there for right now. So anybody have questions on what I read? Anything?
Shalom. Yeah,
Okay,
what stuck out to me was verse 3. When you read Psalms 109,
okay,
when he spoke of mercy and grace and about the wicked, save them from the wicked people. Yeah,
right,
that stuck out, verse 3.
right. The wicked people is the seed line from Cain's descendants and the seed line from the giants, but you also got wicked spirits. You got wicked spirits which are from the giants. When Enoch tells us when the giant died, that spirit couldn't ascend into heaven and stayed on earth. So that's what's tormenting and persecuting mankind to this day. And like it really escalated after the flood because so many of them was killed in the flood. So they lost their flesh bodies, but the spirit was still here. We don't know how many giants were killed in the flood. But anyway, I started reading at verse 4. It says, Jubilee chapter 10, verse 4. This is Noah talking. But you're talking to the Lord of hosts, right? Keep that in mind. Talking to the Lord of hosts. But do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. Then 5. And thou knowest, Noah talking to the Lord of hosts, Israel Redeemer. Thou knowest how thy watchers, the fathers of these spirits. See that telling you exactly what Enoch told us. The watchers slept with the women, got these giants, and that's where these spirits come from. The watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acting in my day. So this before the flood. And as for these spirits, these wicked spirits, which are living, imprison them, and hold them fast in a place of condemnation. So what they said, hell, the underworld, Guyana, we talking about. When David said, those that go down to the pit, it's all the same thing. It says, hold them fast in a place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my God. So the sons of Noah is his servant at this time. So he's saying, don't let these wicked spirits bring destruction to his sons, my God, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy. See that? 6. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living. So the spirit of the living is the spirit that's in us, people that's alive, from Adam descendants. For thou alone canst exercise. Check it out. So he say he got a son. He got a son that's hid in the bosom that's gonna come down and he gonna die on the cross and he gonna do away with all this. And they got JC, calling out spirits and sending them in hogs and all that, right? So right here it says, this is what Noah said. Like I said, who you gonna listen to? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, or Noah? It says, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my God, Lord of hosts. For these are malignant and created in order to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living. Then here you go. For thou alone, Lord of hosts, thou alone can exercise dominion over them. Ain't nobody coming that's going to be handling these demons. The Lord of hosts, the one who, thou alone, Noah talking, thou alone can exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of righteousness from henceforth and forevermore. And the Lord our God bade us to bind all. See that? Bind us. He bade us. Ain't no son coming to bind him. He says, the Lord our God bade us to bind all. And the chief of the spirits, here we go. I was talking about this the other day. I shining a light on this because when I finally got a revelation on this, now we see who Majesty is. So before the flood, you had giants. I mean, you had these 200 angels came down de facto, these beings, spirit beings, these beings with bodies, and they came down. And then so after the flood, we got wicked evil spirits. This is the evil spirit right here, mainly. He's over these spirits after the flood. Verse 8. And the chief of the spirits, before the flood, Aziel, and Sanjaza was over those fallen angels. But right here, these wicked spirits, right, that died. And the chief of the spirits, here you go, his name right here, Mamster. This who was dealing with Abraham when he tried to get him to kill Isaac on the mountain, right here, Mamster. Mamster came and said, Lord Creator, look how he talking. Lord Creator, let some of them remain, here you go, before me, and let them hearken to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. But these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. And he said, let the 10th part, see that? Let a 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend, see that? Let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. That's Guyana, the underworld, what the giants, what the Egyptians talking about. Okay? Well, Anubis is there. Okay? 10. And one of us, he commanded that we should teach Noah all these medicines, for he knew that they could not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. And we did according to all his words all the malignant evil ones we bound. See that? So it's back to these 7 angels. Go back to 11. And we did. So these are 7 angels. And we did, according to all his words, all the malignant evil ones we bound. So before the flood, during the days of Noah, they bound those angels in different parts of the earth, in the different valleys and hills. They bound angels. But after the flood, right here in verse 11, and we did according to all his words, all the malignant evil ones we bound. So they bound the wicked spirits now. In the place of condemnation, and a 10th part of them we left, they might be subject before Satan. See that? Satan. So who is Satan? Back up to verse 8. Main Street is Satan. Satan is a title. Just like in the garden, Samuel, Lucifer, that's his name. Satan is a title. So it says, verse 11, and we did according to all his words, all the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and a 10th part of them we left, that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. And we explained to Noah, these are 7 angels, we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seduction, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. So check it out. These sicknesses, these wicked ass spirits bringing them. See that? Read it again, verse 12. And we explain to Noah, these angels, 7 angels explain to Noah all the medicines for their diseases, together with their seduction, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. So we sitting around, we not understanding what's actually going on, but when you're blessing, you getting ready to get blessed, or you coming, you pushing forward to do the Most High will, and all of a sudden you get sick. Come on. Say 13. And Noah wrote down all things in a book as we instructed him according to every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were recluded from hurting the sons of Noah. Read that again. 13. Noah wrote down all the things in a book. So what the hell is that? Noah wrote down all the things in a book as we instructed him concerning every kind of medicine. See that? Thus, the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. So that whatever Noah wrote down was a defense against these wicked ass spirits. 14. And he gave all that he had written to Shem. See that? Not to Ham, because Ham ain't none of his son. And not to Japhet. Japhet ain't none of his son. And he gave all that he had written down to Shem, his eldest son, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. And Noah slept with his fathers and was buried on Mount Libar in the land of Ararat. 950 years he completed his life, 19 jubilees and 2 weeks and 5 years. And in his life on the earth, he excelled the children of men, save Enoch, because of the righteousness wherein he was perfect. Read that again. Like I said, just these chapters in Jubilees, and it just kills JC, that whole concept. 17. And in his life, Noah's life, in his life on the earth, he excelled the children of men, save, right, Enoch. Why? Because of righteousness. Because of Enoch's righteousness. That's why Enoch was taken. He was so righteous. He's the son of righteousness. Right? If anybody was going down and die for the sins of the world, it was going to be Enoch. Right? That's where they get the concept from. He never seen. They got it from East Enoch and stuck it on JC. Right? So it says, save Enoch because of righteousness when he was perfect. For Enoch's office was ordained for a testimony to the generations of the world, so that he should recount all the deeds of the generations on the generation till the day of judgment. See that? Ain't nobody coming. He says right here, for Enoch's office was ordained for a testimony. See that? To the generations of the world, so that he should recount all the deeds of the generations unto generation till the day of judgment. So so let's look at that, because so if JC came, the Most High had somebody hid in the bush, then he's included in the records. He ain't no Messiah. He another soul that came to the earth, and he counted right here. Look, read it again. All right, it says 17, and in his life on the earth, Noah excelled the children of men, save Enoch, because of the righteousness that Enoch had, wherein he was perfect. For Enoch's office was ordained for a testimony to the generations of the world, so that Enoch should recount all of these of generations of the generation till the day of judgment. JC, if he came, he included in these generations. You know that? So they got him greater than the angels, though. 18. And in the 3 and 30th of Jubilee, in the first year, in the second week, Peleg took to himself a wife, whose name was Lumna, the daughter of Sennar, and she bore him a son in the 4th year of his week, 4th year of this week, and he called his name Ru, for he said, "Behold, the children of men have become evil through the wickedness proposed of building for themselves a city and a tower in the land of Shinar. For they departed from the land of Arad eastward to Shinar, eastward to Shinar. For in his days, they built the city and the tower, saying, Go to, let us ascend thereby into heaven. And they began to build. And in the 4th week, they made brick with fire, and the bricks served them for stone, and the clay with which they cemented them together was asphalt, which cometh out of the sea and out of the fountains of water in the land of Shinar. And they built it 43 years. Were they building it? Its breadth was 203 bricks, and its height of a brick was a third of one, and its height amounted to 5,000 hundreds and 33 cubits and 2 palms, and an extended of one wall was 13 staves, and of the other 30 staves. And the Lord our God said unto us, Behold, they are one people, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be holding from them. Go to, let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech, and they may be dispersed into cities and nations, and one purpose will no longer obey with them to the day of judgment. And the Lord descended, and we descended with him to see the city and the tower which the children of men had built. And he confounded their languages, and they no longer understood one another's speech. And they ceased then to build the city and the tower. For this reason, the whole land of Shinar is called Babel, because the Lord did there confound all the languages of the children of men. From thence they were dispersed into their cities, each according to his language and his nation. And the Lord sent a mighty wind against the tower, overthrew it upon the earth, and behold, it was between Asher and Babylon in the land of Shinar, and they called the name of it, and they called his name Overthrow. In the 4th week, in the 1st month, 1st year, in the beginning thereof, in the 4th and 30th Jubilee, were they dispersed from the land of Shinar. And Ham and his sons went into the land which he was to occupy, which he acquired as his portion in the land of the south. And Canaan saw, here you go right here. And Canaan saw the land of Lebanon, of the river of Egypt, that it was very good. And he went not into, see, here you go right here. I told you, that's why the Garden of Eden and the land of Canaan is called the land of Canaan. It wasn't his land, but he stole it right here. 29. Canaan saw the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt. This is the Shem's land that Noah gave him, to the river of Egypt, that it was very good. And he went not into the land of his inheritance, to the west, that is to the sea. And he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward, from the borders of Jordan, from the borders of the sea. And Ham, his father, and Cush, and Mizraim, his brothers, said unto him, Thou hast settled in the land which is not thine, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not do so, for if thou do so, thou and thy sons will fall in the land and be a curse through sedition, right? For by sedition ye have settled, and by sedition with our children, and thou shalt be rooted out forever. So here we go, right here. Let's go somewhere. I want to keep on pleading the case for this right here. So what we just read, Mizraim told Canaan that, yo, you still in this land right now, you're going to be a curse. So let's look at it. Canaanites. So we're going to go to Genesis in the book of, in the King James. Like I said, you can't get out of this. You can try to, you might want to create a little whoop-to-do story to make it look good, Christian story, but it ain't working now. Not in 2024. So, I'm in Genesis chapter 15, right? And here you go right here. So it says, they say the 400 years is over here, right? So here you go right here. The Lord, I'm in Genesis 15, verse 7. This is the 400-year prophecy. They say that's over here in America, right? And according to what I just read, says, and he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee up out of the Ur of the Chaldeans to give thee this land. So right here, what the Lord of hosts doing, he's correcting what happened over there. I just read. When Canaan stole it, way back here. When Canaan stole the land, that displaced Abraham. That's why they in Ur of the Chaldeans. They displaced. So the Lord of hosts coming to fix that problem. He bringing them back to this land that Canaan had stole way back in the day. So the verse 7 said, the Lord of hosts, he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee up out of the Ur of the Chaldeans. See that? Mesopotamia. To give thee this land to inherit it, because it belonged to Shem way back in the day. 8. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, take me a heifer, 3 years old, a she-goat, 3 years old, and a ram for 3 years old, turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these, and he divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. All he doing is like what Noah did. What Noah did. He doing what Shem did. What Adam did before the flood. He's just doing what they done. Right. So 11. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. 12. When the sun was going down, the deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, a heart of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety, here we go. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety, thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. See that? Ham, they're going to Ham, they're going to Egypt, they ain't under their land. See that? It says, and he said unto Abraham, know of a surety, that seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. That's in Egypt, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they have served will I judge, right? He judged the Egyptians. And afterwards, so the Egyptians is one nation, And the Canaanites are another nation. So also that nation whom they serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. That's Mezrine. 15. Thou shalt go to thy fathers. Abraham gonna die. You're gonna go to your fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. You're gonna die. 16. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again. They in the land of Canaan. When he talking to him, they in the land of Canaan, right? He done fixed the problem. What Canaan done when he stole it. He done brought him back there. Abraham got the land. Abraham back in his land. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in good old age. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So when Moses and Joshua and them and Caleb, they killing the Canaanites. They fulfilling the prophecy. Ain't no Canaanites over here. And that's what he just told them. Let me read it again. Go back to Jubilees chapter 10. So he says, let me get it. Yeah. So I'm in chapter 30. Jubilees chapter 10, verse 30. And Ham his father and Cush and Mezrine and his brothers, they told Canaan. They said unto him, Canaan, thou hast settled in a land which is not thine, which did not fall to you by lot. Do not do so, for if thou do so, here you go. So what I just read in 15, the prophecy coming to pass, right? Thou hast settled in a land that is not thine, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not so, for if thou do so, thou and thy sons will fall in the land. See that? That's what happened when Noah and them came. I mean, when Moses, when Joshua and Caleb and them came, thou shalt fall in the land and be accursed through sedition. For by sedition ye have settled, and by sedition with thy children fall, and thou shalt be rooted out. There it is. You know, America. See that? 31. Dwell not in the dwelling of Shem, right? For to Shem and to his sons did he come by their lot. Cursed art thou, and cursed shalt thou be beyond all the sons of Noah by the curse by which we bound ourselves by an oath in the presence of the holy judge and in the presence of Noah. See that the holy judge is the Lord of hosts. That's why he fixing the problem in Genesis 12 when he came to Abraham and told him, get thee from thy kindred. I'm going to fix this problem. What Canaan did way back in the day after the flood. 33. But he did not hearken unto them and dwelt in the land of Lebanon from Hamath to the inner end of Egypt, he and his sons until this day. And from this and for this reason, that land is named Canaan. See that? This is why it's called Canaan, because he stole it. See that? 35. And Japhet and his sons went toward the sea and dwelt in the land of their portion. They went toward the sea. See that? Those that dwell down by the sea. That's what Gentiles are, right? So, and Media saw the land of the sea, and it did not please him, and he begged a portion from Elam and Asher and Arphad, his wife's brother, and he dwelt in the land of Media, near to his wife's brother until this day. And he called his dwelling place and the dwelling place of his sons Media, after the name of their father, Media. Okay, so that was Jubilees chapter 10. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Anything ring a bell?
You said that Media means Canaan.
Say again.
Does Media means Canaan?
No, that's enough. If you go to Genesis chapter 10, table of nations, I don't know if you remember the story. Canaan married. When you go to Genesis chapter, let's look at it real quick. When you go to Genesis chapter 4, Genesis chapter 4 says, these are the descendants of Cain. Cain is not Noah's, not Adam's son. Serpent slept with Eve and got Cain. But anyway, you go to verse 18, starting at verse 16, you listen Cain's descendants. You get to verse 18. Under Enoch was born Irid. Under Irid begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Methuselah. Methuselah begot Lamech, and Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name was Ada, and the other one Zillah. These 2 girls is Adam's descendants. Right here, Lamech married into Adam's descendants. When you go to the book of Jasher, you'll see that these 2 girls right here, Ada and Zillah, is Adam's daughters. That Lamech crossed over and married them. Because what was going on was Lamech wanted to know why was they living where they was living at, and why Adam and them was living where they was living. He wanted to know why his lineage, his family is cursed like they are, and Adam and them over there in the garden. And where they was at. So he ended, and by him interacting and communicating with Adam, he got to know Adam, and then he ended up marrying Canaan 2 daughters. Where he interacted with Canaan. That's the 3rd son from Adam, and then he married Ada and Zillah. So the same thing over here, what we just read. Media is not a part of Shem lineage, but he married into it. So if you go to Genesis chapter 10, right? You go to Genesis chapter 10, and you'll see where of 21, you got just the table of nations. Genesis 10:21. Under Shem, see that? This out of Adam's lineage. Under Shem also the father of all the children of Eber. That means those who crossed over, came over the flood. The brother of Japhet, the elder, even him was born. Then it said the children of Shem, Elam, Asher, Araphalet, and Lud. See that? Now if you go back to what I was at, go back to Jubilees chapter 10. Okay. Jubilees chapter 10. Chapter 10, what I just read is 35. Japhet and his sons went toward the sea and dwelt in the land of their portion. Midian saw the land of the sea, right? That's part of Midian is out of Japhet lineage. See that? Just like Lamech was. Midian saw the land of the sea, and it did not please him. And he begged the portion from Elam. See, these are the boys I just read. These boys out of Shem's lineage. Elam, Asher, Araphalet. See that? His wife's brother. So his wife, he got a wife from Shem's lineage. See that? His wife's brother, and he dwelt in the land of Midian, near to his wife's brother unto this day. So he crossed over just like Lamech did. Lamech married 2 daughters out of Cain's lineage, out of Adam's lineage. He did right here too, Midian. Okay, so but like I said, keep everything simple unless it comes up. I just, I don't try not to confuse nobody, but you have to understand these things to really understand what these people have done. Because I mean, if you say that JC was ordained from the beginning and he was hidden in Abraham's bosom, why all the lies? Too many lies for it to be true. There's no way in hell it's true because there's too many lies. Okay. Anybody else have any? What's that? Okay. Yeah. So, anybody else got anything? Okay. I'm gonna go get that right quick out of Jasher, so people won't think I'm just rambling at the mouth. When you read the Samaritan scrolls, it's not hard to identify the serpent with Inca, fallen angels. Right, exactly. Right. They want to make you think it's some kind of separate people that came down and did this, but them all the fallen angels, that's all they are. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's in chapter 3, 2 or 3. Yeah, Jasher chapter 2 says, chapter 2 of Jasher, verse 11 says, Canaan grew up. This is third from Adam. Canaan grew up and he was 40 years old and he became a wise and he had knowledge. So this just like Solomon. Solomon ain't doing nothing new. That's who we are. That's who we are. Wise men. That's why they want us reading when they had us on plantation. So 11, Canaan grew up and he was 40 years old and he became wise and had knowledge and skill and all wisdom, just like Joseph. And he reigned over all the sons. Reigned, that means king, Melchizedek. He reigned over all the sons of men, and he led the sons of men to wisdom and knowledge. For Canaan was very wise man, and he had understanding and all wisdom. And his wisdom, he ruled over the spirits and demons. See that? Right? So demons, it was evil spirits before the flood, because giants were dying before the flood. It says, and Canaan knew by his wisdom that God would destroy the sons of men for having sinned upon the earth, and that the Lord would in the latter days bring upon them the waters of the flood. Right? And in those days, Canaan wrote upon tablets of stone what was to take place in time to come, and he put them in his treasures. And Canaan reigned over the whole earth. See that? King of righteousness, Melchizedek. Canaan ruled over the whole earth, and he turned some of the sons of men to the service of God. Now here you go. And when Canaan was 70 years old, he begot 3 sons, 2 daughters. These are the names of the children of Canaan. The same are the firstborn, Mahalath. That's the 4th son from Adam, Mahalath. And the second, Enan, and the third, Mildred, and their sisters. There go Ada and Zillah right there. Sisters were Ada and Zillah. These are the children of Canaan that were born under him. And then verse 17, Lamech. See that? This is Lamech out of Cain's lineage. Lamech, the son of Methuselah, that's from Cain's lineage, became related to Canaan by marriage. And he took his 2 daughters for his wives. Ada conceived and bore a son to Lamech, and she called his name Jubal. So there it is right there. So you see the same thing with Media. He's out of Cain's lineage. And he married. He didn't want to go to the lot where his brothers was at. Because he had married into Shem's lineage, he went with them and set up shop next door to Shem. But like I said, who knows that? Okay. Okay. Let's see what you got right here. It says Abraham and Noah are from Mesopotamia. So the base characters in the Bible are Mesopotamian in origin. Remember Egypt, my people, Assyria, my handiwork, and Israel, my inheritance. Right, exactly, right. Okay. But like I said, they land, eventually he brought them back to their land, and then came David, then they built the temple in their land, which was originally given to them, which is the Lord of hosts. It was given to the Lord of hosts when he divided it up by these angels. He gave the land, the so-called land of Canaan, to the Lord of hosts. And once he sent him to Egypt to get the Israelites, he brought them back to his land that he had gave Shem and Noah. I see the fallen angels made or corrupted a group of people, Neanderthals and the Vizians, right? And Michael and his angels made some people. I can imagine the wheat and the chaff apple not referring to this. Okay, yeah, the wheat and tares, but that's the New Testament. I don't subscribe to that. All they doing is taking stuff out of the Old Testament and put it over in the New. Just like what we just saw, we had JC dealing with wicked spirits, casting out wicked spirits. Where they get it from? They got it from the Book of Enoch. That's why they took them stories out. They want you to think it wasn't no giants and all that, but you got wicked spirits. And you say that those books were not canonical, but you turn around, JC dealing with wicked spirits. It's the very same wicked spirits that's in the books you took out. Okay? Yeah. Anybody else got anything you want to talk about before we go? Okay. Yeah. I don't rock with the New Testament, but I know that take things from the books we don't have access to. Right? Exactly. I'm just saying that that's what the timeline and narrative is, that these people are plagiarizing. That's what everything over the New Testament is plagiarism. You got to go to the Old Testament, which I'm quite sure you know this. You got to go to the Old Testament to deal with these things and find them and walk them down. Because up until recently, we weren't able to do that. But now, Lord Hosting made a way for us to go and bring these things up and present them. Okay? Anybody else got anything before we go? Okay. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom, shalom, and another shalom. I see y'all. Our Women's Advanced Bible Study tomorrow, 7 to 9 Central Time. The men can come in through YouTube. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Shalom, everyone.